For Sam Heughan, being cast as Macbeth at the Royal Shakespeare Company was more than just another acting job. It was a defining career moment. Known around the world for his commanding performance as Jamie Fraser in Outlander, this was his chance to prove himself on the most revered stage in British theatre. From the moment the announcement was made, excitement rippled through the theatre world. Tickets sold fast, theatre critics sharpened their pens in anticipation. And for Sam's devoted fans, it was an opportunity to see their favourite actor in a new light, a dark, tortured Scottish king brought to life by one of Scotland's own. Early signs of tension. The production's creative lead, director Daniel Raggett, was known for his meticulous, sometimes uncompromising approach to Shakespeare. His vision for Macbeth was bold, raw, stripped down, almost experimental. It was a style that thrilled some and unsettled others. At first, Sam embraced Daniel's ideas. Rehearsals were intense but productive. But as the weeks went on, small cracks began to show. Sources inside the production claimed that Sam pushed for a more traditional interpretation of certain key scenes, arguing that the language needed clarity and power, not heavy stylization. Daniel, however, was adamant about his artistic direction. "If we're not making the audience uncomfortable," he reportedly told the cast, "we're not doing Shakespeare right." The leak. The tension might have remained hidden if not for a quiet leak to a London theatre blog. The piece, buried halfway down the homepage, claimed. Whispers suggest that creative disagreements in the upcoming RSC Macbeth have led director Daniel Raggett to explore alternative casting options for the lead role. It was one sentence, vague, unconfirmed, but it was enough. Within hours, larger entertainment outlets picked it up. By the next day, the story had migrated to mainstream headlines. Trouble in the Highlands. Is Sam Heughan being replaced as Macbeth? Dakota Johnson gets wind of it. Enter Dakota Johnson. Dakota had worked with Sam on a recent film project, and the two had struck up an easy, genuine friendship. She admired his discipline and range as an actor, and she had been quietly rooting for his Macbeth debut. When the replacement rumors reached her through industry contacts, Dakota's reaction was immediate, and furious. To her, this wasn't just about casting politics, it was about respect. Sam had been working himself to the bone to honor the role, and now his position was being undermined before the public even saw his performance. "She couldn't believe it," said a mutual acquaintance. Her exact words were, "They can't do this to him, not now." The director's silence. Meanwhile, Daniel Raggett maintained a studied silence. He neither confirmed nor denied the rumors. Inside the rehearsal room, however, his demeanor reportedly grew sharper, more distant with Sam. The other actors sensed the chill and did their best to keep the work moving forward without getting caught in the crossfire. Sam, for his part, stayed professional, but those who knew him well could tell the situation was weighing on him. "He's proud," one cast member confided. "He doesn't want to fight for the role in the press. He wants his work to speak for itself. But the timing of all this, it's brutal." Behind closed doors. Privately, multiple sources claimed Daniel had already reached out to another actor, a respected stage veteran, to discuss the possibility of stepping in as Macbeth. Nothing was signed, nothing was official, but the contact had been made. That single action, even if exploratory, was enough to confirm to insiders that the threat to Sam's role was real. The cliffhanger. As opening night crept closer, the tension in the rehearsal hall was electric. No official announcement had been made, but the cast and crew were holding their breath, unsure whether they'd see Sam in the lead role when the curtain finally rose. And somewhere, behind closed doors, Daniel Raggett was having conversations that could change everything, conversations that, if acted upon, might leave Sam Heughan out of Macbeth entirely, and push Dakota Johnson into a fight she was ready to take public. When the replacement rumors broke into the mainstream press, Sam's fans mobilized. Within 48 hours, hashtags like #KeepSam as Macbeth and #SupportSamHeughan were trending. Fan forums exploded with posts dissecting every possible reason for Daniel Raggett's decision. Some argued it was pure ego. Others claimed Daniel wanted a more classically trained actor to match his vision. A petition appeared on change.org demanding the RSC confirm Sam would remain in the role. By the end of the week, it had thousands of signatures, and was being referenced in entertainment news segments. The pressure was mounting. Dakota's strategic move. Dakota Johnson had no intention of watching this play out silently. Though she wasn't officially part of the production, she had both personal loyalty to Sam and considerable pull in the entertainment industry. Her first move was subtle. She reached out to a respected arts columnist she trusted, feeding background about Sam's dedication in rehearsals and the audience anticipation for his performance. Within days, the columnist published a glowing piece defending Sam as the choice for Macbeth, without directly calling out Daniel Raggett. Then she took it a step further. During a red carpet interview for her own project, Dakota was asked a casual question about what she was looking forward to seeing in theater. Her answer was pointed. "I can't wait to see Sam Heughan as Macbeth. I think audiences are going to be blown away, if certain people let him actually open the show." The clip went viral in hours. The heat in the rehearsal room. By now, the atmosphere at rehearsals was suffocating. Cast members avoided choosing sides publicly, but everyone could feel the divide between Daniel and Sam. One actor later described it as a chess match in slow motion. Every note Daniel gave Sam felt loaded, and every performance choice Sam made seemed to be under a microscope. There were whispers that Daniel was still meeting with the mystery replacement in private, keeping the option open until the very last moment. The closed-door meeting. The breaking point came when RSC producers called a closed-door meeting with Daniel and Sam. Dakota, while not physically present, had spoken to one of the producers beforehand, making her stance very clear. The conversation was tense. Daniel defended his right to make creative decisions in service of the production. Sam countered that he had signed on with the understanding of a certain interpretation, one that had been shifting under his feet. A producer finally stepped in. "This show is already selling out because of Sam's casting. Replacing him now will be seen as an act of sabotage, not artistic refinement. We need to open with the cast we've promised the public." Daniel didn't agree outright, but he also didn't fight further in that moment. Still, Sam left the meeting unsure whether he had truly secured his position or just bought himself time. The truth about the replacement. 2 days later, the truth slipped out through an industry gossip column. Yes, Daniel had approached another actor. Yes, the actor had considered it. But the discussions had never gone beyond the exploratory stage, in part because the actor himself was wary of stepping into what he called a political minefield. That revelation calmed some of the speculation but also validated Sam's supporters. The threat had been real. Dakota turns up the pressure. Dakota wasn't finished. In a long-form interview with a theater magazine, she spoke about the importance of loyalty in the arts. "You don't just throw people away when you hit a bump in the creative process. True artistry is finding a way through it together. Otherwise, you're just feeding egos, not building something worth watching." She didn't name Daniel, but the implication was crystal clear, and the public loved it. By the next morning, social media was filled with praise for her bravery and class. Opening night. When opening night finally arrived, Sam Heughan stepped on stage as Macbeth. The performance was electric. Critics praised his intensity, his physical presence, and his ability to balance the role's brutality with moments of human vulnerability. The audience, many of them die-hard fans who had followed the drama, gave him a standing ovation that lasted several minutes. Daniel Raggett, however, kept his distance in the post-show celebrations. The smiles were polite but thin, the handshake brief. Whatever had been salvaged professionally, the personal trust between them was gone. The aftermath. In the weeks that followed, the production drew strong ticket sales and solid reviews. Publicly, everyone kept their statements professional. Privately, the scars lingered. Sam moved forward with grace, but those close to him knew how close he'd come to losing the role. Dakota's role in the defense of his casting became an unspoken chapter in the production's history, one that insiders still talk about with a mix of admiration and disbelief. As for Daniel Raggett, he never commented on the replacement rumors. But his next project was announced quietly, with no sign of a reunion with Sam Heughan.